Welcome to the Gatemen post-game show. Thank you very much for watching. Jacob, Tobey, Sam Corman, I'm Connor Federico. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And gentlemen, what a game it was for the Gatemen pitching staff. A shutout.
Yeah, that's simple. A shutout. I mean, Griffin Roberts tonight, talking to assistant coach Daryl Maxwell off the camera right before we taped this, he said that he's been here 11 years. He said that may have been the best pitching performance he's ever seen out of any Gatemen pitcher. I said it on the air, fellas. That was the best I've seen in 2 years being here. I mean, 6 strikeouts through 6 innings. His tempo was the best thing I saw tonight. Quick working. We were flying through this game. He had great command of his fastball. His off-speed was getting this Cotuit lineup swinging and missing constantly. And, you know, I loved what I saw out of him. Then Fitzstadler comes in, lets up the walk in the 9th inning, but Canine comes in after that. 3 straight strikeouts on the off-speed stuff. And he looked so good. And it was just a very, very good performance tonight from your bullpen.
Not to put you on the spot here, Sam, but what's more impressive to you? 6 scoreless from Griffin Roberts, your starter, or the 3 innings you ask Fitzstadler and Canine to come here, and they really shut the door too?
Oof, it's tough. It's tough. But I'm going to go with Griffin Roberts just because, I mean, you know, 6, 7 strikeouts for Griffin Roberts today through just 6 innings. And, you know, I feel like he could have gone the whole game if he wasn't on a limit because he was just unhittable, basically. I mean, I think the ball left the infield on Griffin Roberts on 1 occasion. It was in his last inning, and one of the Cotuit players flew out to center field. But other than that, every single out recorded by Griffin Roberts was a ground out or a strikeout.
Yeah.
And that just shows, like, when guys are swinging over the ball as much as that and striking out and blowing by him, it just shows, I mean, how good he was. It was pretty crazy.
And he must have been motivated because obviously he gets named to the All-Star team. He's going to be coming out of the bullpen in that game. And then the scouts were here. So there was a boatload of scouts watching this performance tonight.
And the Roberts family was on hand, and that always helps.
They gave us a great gift. They gave us his grandmother gave us a thing of popcorn from the South, from Georgia, was it? Was it Georgia? Yeah.
Yes. No, Virginia.
Virginia, excuse me. But weird present, but we love it. We love it. It's a different flavor of popcorn is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you to the Roberts.
Yeah, I've never had that before.
It's beer and crab. We'll try it later. But speaking of Griffin Roberts, the Wake Forest pitcher was the Gatemen player of the game tonight, and he talked to our Claudia Chakamian.
Thanks, guys. I'm Claudia Chakamian with the Gatemen player of the game, Griffin Roberts. Griffin, this was your 2nd straight start. You threw 6 innings. So what's been so vital for you keeping that pitch count low so you can go the distance?
For me, it's been throwing the 2-seam fastball. Throwing the 2-seam fastball, and fastball counts when the hitters know a fastball is coming. Being able to have the confidence in that pitch, knowing that they know what it's coming, is huge for me. And just being able to rely on the ground ball.
And when I talked to head coach Don Sneddon before the game, he said he really wanted to make sure you could get those strikes and those strikeouts. 41 of your 60 pitches were strikes, and you got 6 strikeouts. So what was so important getting those?
Starting off early, getting ahead in the count early, and not falling behind. You fall behind, the hitters can sit on a pitch or sit on a location, and that's what makes them good, being able to hit a pitch they're guessing on or waiting for. So for me, it was just keeping them off balance and getting started early and staying ahead the whole time.
And the Gatemen didn't score until the 8th inning when it was after you were out of the game. So what was your mindset every time you went out to the mound knowing that the game was scoreless and wanting to kind of keep that game, that pace for your team?
I think the mindset doesn't change regardless of the score or when the game is or when you're coming in. It's always just focus on the next pitch, wait for Willie to put down the next pitch and do your best to make it.
And this morning you found out you're going to be an All-Star game. So what is that like for you, finding out that you're going to be in the All-Star game at Splain Field next week?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Be surrounded by such great teams and such great players and be chosen to represent the Gatemen is awesome. I mean, just going to go out there and try to do my best and represent the team as best as I can.
And do you think this is a big turning point for you guys getting this win? Now you go back home tomorrow night to face Cotuit after you guys have been struggling for a few days. So is this a big deal for you guys getting this win?
I think it's just nice to see that when we play well, we do win. I think what we're struggling with now is we've been playing well and losing some nail-biters, losing some one-run games. So to show ourselves that we can win the nail-biter or the close game is going to be big for us, just to know that we can do it in the future.
Great. Thanks, Griffin.
No problem.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Claudia. And speaking of pitchers, Justin Hooper tonight, the returner for the Cotuit Kettleers, he was really fantastic. Shut down these Gatemen bats.
He did. The Gatemen bats really struggled throughout the night. I like to call Hooper maybe Chris Sale-like in his delivery. And he pitched like him through the first 4 innings. And the Gatemen hitters, they left men on bases all over. Left the bases loaded in the 6th, left the bases loaded in the 8th, had 2 runners on in the 5th. They also left them on, so they couldn't do anything about that. The one thing I do love tonight from the offense was Tristan Pompey gets in on the RBI action, gets an RBI single, gives the Gatemen their lone run, and it's good to see out of him. He's been really, really good after his slow start. He's been great.
The Gatemen, they got 7 hits on the scoreboard tonight, but the weakness, I felt for the most part, was the runners left on base.
Absolutely. 12 of them in total today, 12 runners left on base for the Gatemen. That's a lot. But good situational hitting, obviously, from Tristan Pompey in that one situation. You would have liked to see, maybe with those bases loaded, more pitch selection. I saw maybe the first time the Gatemen left the bases loaded, I believe it was a 2-0 pitch to Pompey, and he went and chased it out of the zone and grounded out. And, when you're up 2-0 in that situation with the bases loaded, maybe it's just a good idea to take all the way and see if you can get that third ball, just, force the pitcher to throw strikes. So more pitch selection from the Gatemen in the future, and I think the hitting will eventually solve itself. I mean, we've been saying that for a while, but, they get the win anyway. The pitching was enough to for the one run to be enough to get the win, and that's really what matters.
And for more on tonight's win, we'll toss it to our Claudia Chakamian, who's with head coach Don Sneddon.
Thanks, guys. I'm Claudia Chakamian with Gatemen head coach Don Sneddon. Coach, what did you really like that you saw out of Griffin Roberts today? Pre-game, you said you wanted to make sure he was getting those strikes and those strikeouts. 41 of his pitches were strikes, and he got those 6 strikeouts. So is that what you kind of want to see from him?
Well, no doubt. Any coach wants to see that. He was dominating. It was by far, I think, probably the best pitching performance we've had in the Cape this summer, and maybe for anybody. I mean, he was just dominating, in control, and mixed his pitches well.
How important was it for him to continue to go out there and send the Cotuit lineup down every inning when you guys weren't getting those runs across?
Oh, huge. He kept us in the game, and to go 6 innings on a pitch limit that we have, that means he's got to be very effective with his pitches, and he was.
And what can you guys now work on moving forward, trying to get those more timely hitting? Because, Griffin kept you guys in the game, but you still want to get those timely hits.
Well, we can't be any worse. I mean, we were at the bottom of the barrel as far as getting clutch hits or getting to hit with a runner in scoring position, or even hitting a fly ball with a runner in scoring position. We hit ground balls today with that, so we have to improve. I mean, there's no other way to go. We can't get any worse.
How much does this help you guys getting this kind of win here at Cotuit when you guys play them tomorrow at home tomorrow night?
Well, it's huge. I mean, we've had a long day. These kids have been up, or men, I should say. We've been on that bus since 8 a.m. coming all the way down here, so this is going to be almost a 12-plus hour day for them. So. I think we're all tired. I know I am. And to get a win makes that drive a little bit easier for us.
Great. Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Coach and Claudia. Sam, tonight, this is a game that really shakes up the Western Division standings. The Gatemen, they're back in the spot they'd like to be.
Yeah, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks fall 4-3 to the YD Red Sox. 4-3 is a score that the Gatemen have really been familiar with recently.
Don't they love that, 4-3?
2 consecutive losses, 4-3 to Bourne and to Harwich yesterday. So Hyannis loses 4-3. Gatemen jump over them. They're now 1 point ahead of the Harbor Hawks for 4th place in the West Division. And these games against Cotuit, these games against those games against Hyannis later in the season. I believe there's 2 of them coming up. Those are going to be huge games, I think, in the long run, because both these teams are going to continue to be competitive and really fight it out for that last playoff spot. Hopefully, or maybe one of them can jump ahead and get up there with the Falmouths, the Bournes, but Bourne is playing Falmouth at the moment, and that game will also decide some play in the West Division standings. But right now, the division's wide open. The Gatemen have really given themselves a shot, obviously, with how close it's been. And today's win over another division rival in Cotuit is really big for the rest of the season, especially with that Hyannis loss.
It sure is. In fact, the Gatemen guys, they moved to 7-7-1, 500 against the Western Division tonight here in Cotuit. What do the Gatemen have looking forward?
Well, they have these Kettleers coming back to Spillane Field tomorrow night. I'm sure they'll be riled up to face them after losing this 1-0 game. So you have the Kettleers, then you have, the off day Monday, the coveted off day.
The last off day.
The last off day available here.
No, what off day?
Monday.
I'm kidding.
Oh, my Lord. Come on, man.
No off days here on the Cape.
No, there is an off day.
There's one.
I'm sure everyone's going to be wanting to go to the beach and whatnot because it's been such a long schedule. And it's going to continue to be that way up into this week. And we're going to see Hyannis on Tuesday. That'll be at Hyannis. So that's going to probably be, I believe, the last time the Gatemen play in Hyannis.
Yep.
So you're going to be facing some Western Division opponents here in the next couple days. Then you fast forward to Saturday. The All-Star Game is going to be at Spillane Field. This should be a fun week. If you're a Wareham Gatemen fan, it's going to be fun for us too, guys.
The Gatemen, they win this one thanks to an all-star performance from Wake Forest pitcher Griffin Roberts. They win 1-0 here at Lowell Park over the Cotuit Kettleers. For our Claudia Chakamian, Jacob Tobey, Sam Corman, I'm Connor Federico. Have a great night.